Hi,
Hi, Stephanie. Nice
back.
to see you again. Yeah.
Yes, twice a day. This is a history. Yeah, good. So, did you learn anything from the previous hour?
Yes. There's a video um talking about 6 habits of being organized.
Yeah, so how to be well organized. Do you think yourself an well organized person?
Not during summer holiday, but I do when I start the semester.
So, you're starting to learn to be more organized.
Well, not exactly. I mean, like, because I'm having my summer holiday, therefore, I don't want to have any plan. I just want everything be natural. But during the semester, I definitely will organize my plan because the time will be very busy and I have to make sure what I'm going to do. So, yeah. No any schedule during the holiday because I just want to enjoy it. But I will have my to-do list, my schedule during the semester because it's really important that you have to know what you are doing.
So, so you're in your whole life up to this point. So,
Yeah.
have you ever joined any again like clubs or organizations or training programs that had really helped you to build your organization habits? Have you?
Not
Not exactly. So you're a self-taught organizer.
yeah.
So self-taught. So you're a self-taught organizer. Yeah,
Yeah.
self-taught person. 自学成才. There. Yeah, I see. I knew it's gonna translate like that. Right. Anyway, so let's break it down. So then that should be the same. Yeah. Well organized person. That's what I meant. Yeah. Good. And so since we have had quite a good free talk in the first hour today, I think we
Yes.
should get back to TED Talk today. I mean,
Sure.
in this,
Definitely.
then we can,
Darling.
make the best of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. And so we're going to talk about this bilingual brain. You are not bilingual, you are multilingual, I think. You have Chinese. Do you speak Taiwanese?
Not actually.
Not at
I
all?
speak I speak English more fluently than Taiwan native language,
So,
actually.
so none of your family members speaks Taiwanese at all.
No, my mom speaks Taiwanese very fluently, but because like I did because I'm not in that environment, so I can't understand every word that my grandma said from my
That's
mom's
sad.
family. Yeah.
So you need your mom to be there to be the translator, to be the
Yes,
interpreter.
but I found out like the environment is very important. Maybe last month I stayed with my grandmother for a week and I found out that eventually I know what she was talking about and it's really incredible somehow.
But do you like the tone? When people speak in Taiwanese, 你好不好，假爸呗?
I would say it's really local. Like it is Taiwan. This is Taiwan and
So
I
you're
can't deny
you're
it.
bilingual. So there's Chinese Mandarin, and also English. That's it.
Yes.
Anything
Yes.
else?
Maybe I'm learning a little bit Spanish and I plan to learn French next semester because we can choose what language that we want to learn. So I think maybe I will choose French. and my mom also learned French when she was in college. So I'm curious about that. And I know French is a very difficult language to learn. It also is the difficulty is inferior to German, but it's still difficult to learn
So
because
like,
I had
apart from greeting, like au revoir,
yeah,
bonjour.
yes,
Apart from that, I can speak more than that. Only those greeting words. Yeah,
yeah,
like also German the same too. Bitte schön, danke, guten Morgen. Those are
yes,
basic things.
yes,
But Japanese is more fun to me. I love Japanese and I wanted to learn Cantonese too. But I kind of lost that momentum. I mean, learning Cantonese ever since the political situation went down badly this year. Well, I started last year from the 2 million people protesting.
yeah.
Protest. I lost it. I've been loving that language for years. And as I told you, I had a boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, it is from Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong born American Chinese and who's
Yeah,
running a franchise spare ribs restaurant. Yeah, and so that time when we were together, it was fun.
yeah,
I spoke to him in English and Chinese Mandarin, and he could not speak fluent Chinese Mandarin, but he would reply in English or Cantonese.
yeah,
So it's a funny thing. So when the two of us were talking to each other, people would look at us because it's like when I say A, he will reply in B. When I say C, he will reply in D. Never the same language. This is really funny thing. Well, we both could speak very fluent English, but this is the habit.
yeah,
But when he spoke Cantonese, I could understand, but the time wasn't long enough to help me cultivate a good speaking ability. But listening was cultivated that time, so it's quite good. So to cultivate a good environment for multi-language speakers is very important. It's to keep the momentum. 那个 momentum 保持着那种活性 so that is very important. But I'm just really lucky because after I started to fly, I got environments everywhere for different languages. And then now my best dream is to learn more Japanese. I could understand partially, but I can't have a very, very fluent communication yet. But I think it's just give me half a year. I think I can
yeah,
pick it up. Yeah. So this is it. So you're bilingual, you have a bilingual brain.
yeah.
And so that would fit this topic perfectly. So the benefits of a bilingual brain. So before we dive into video playing, so have you received any practical benefits from having a bilingual brain yourself?
Maybe, I mean, until now, I feel when I feel really angry, I speak in English because I really hope no one can understand me.
Ooh, you,
No one can understand me when I was really furious.
oh.
I don't want anyone to understand me because I will keep mumbling. And people just feel really annoyed, and especially if I speak in Chinese, because people will feel more annoyed. So
You
I
can
rather
create your own
choose,
language, Martian language.
yeah. So I rather choose English, and yeah, it's because it's better because like I will speak really fast and very up and off. So No, I understand it. That is great. I mean, that is until now, I think it is still the best.
So
Still
you
the
murmur a
best
lot of
way to,
times.
especially when I feel really angry. I was like,
Do you get angry easily?
I think like before I was before I was 18, I really have a lot of arguments with parents. But after I entered into the university and actually lived with my roommate, I found out that we we tend to be um, we tend to be more polite and more durable to others, but we really tend to present our worth worth um, our worth to our family. So like so after I understand that my most of my family, they tolerate the worst of me, so I just feel like maybe I should not have any arguments with them. um yeah, I should not have any arguments with them because like they they accept the worst of me. So yeah,
So you
I'm
learn over the time, you learn to be more tolerant to people.
yes, especially my family.
Yeah, we all have to do that. After all, family is the most important in the world apart from God, right?
Yeah.
This is what I keep saying over and over again to my son.
And what did he say? Is it, oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Right. So high tolerance towards our family members is it's something we all need to have. But sometimes, when we're communicating with people, yeah, like especially with foreigners, I think we get to be more patient. Our tolerance is much higher. And
Yeah,
compared to when the time we have really disagreement or sometimes arguments with our family, we can just go so straight with them.
yeah,
It's just because we think they're not going to
exactly.
go anywhere. They're going to stay. They're always there.
Yes, exactly.
Unfortunately, that's not true. One day, everybody will go, but just who's faster, who's slower, right? So anyway, so that's another thing we can talk about next time. Let's talk about language. So I'm gonna
Sure.
play the video. This one is 5 minutes. And again, of course, because you're listening to Supreme, I'm gonna let you watch with the original speed. So let me
Sure.
deactivate the. I think it's annoying when I play the video, you can still see the subtitle running there, right? I mean, not
Right.
subtitle. It will be 2 lines of English. So
Okay.
it's better
Sure.
if I deactivate it. There. So wait, where is it? Right, there you go. Oh, starting.
Hablas español? Parlez-vous français? 你会说中文吗? If you answered sí, oui, or 会, and you're watching this in English, chances are you belong to the world's bilingual and multilingual majority. And besides having an easier time traveling or watching movies without subtitles, knowing 2 or more languages means that your brain may actually look and work differently than those of your monolingual friends. So, what does it really mean to know a language? Language ability is typically measured in 2 active parts, speaking and writing, and 2 passive parts, listening and reading. While a balanced bilingual has near equal abilities across the board in 2 languages, most bilinguals around the world know and use their languages in varying proportions. And depending on their situation and how they acquired each language, they can be classified into 3 general types. For example, let's take Gabriella, whose family immigrates to the US from Peru when she's 2 years old. As a compound bilingual, Gabriella develops 2 linguistic codes simultaneously with a single set of concepts, learning both English and Spanish as she begins to process the world around her. Her teenage brother, on the other hand, might be a coordinate bilingual, working with 2 sets of concepts, learning English in school while continuing to speak Spanish at home and with friends. Finally, Gabriella's parents are likely to be subordinate bilinguals, who learn a secondary language by filtering it through their primary language. Because all types of bilingual people can become fully proficient in a language regardless of accent or pronunciation, the difference may not be apparent to a casual observer. But recent advances in brain imaging technology have given neurolinguists a glimpse into how specific aspects of language learning affect the bilingual brain. It's well known that the brain's left hemisphere is more dominant in analytical and logical processes, while the right hemisphere is more active in emotional and social ones, though this is a matter of degree, not an absolute split. The fact that language involves both types of functions, while lateralization develops gradually with age, has led to the critical period hypothesis. According to this theory, children learn languages more easily because the plasticity of their developing brains lets them use both hemispheres in language acquisition, while in most adults, language is lateralized to one hemisphere, usually the left. If this is true, learning a language in childhood may give you a more holistic grasp of its social and emotional contexts. Conversely, recent research showed that people who learned a second language in adulthood exhibit less emotional bias and a more rational approach when confronting problems in the second language than in their native one. But regardless of when you acquire additional languages, being multilingual gives your brain some remarkable advantages. Some of these are even visible, such as higher density of the gray matter that contains most of your brain's neurons and synapses, and more activity in certain regions when engaging a second language. The heightened workout a bilingual brain receives throughout its life can also help delay the onset of diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia by as much as 5 years. The idea of major cognitive benefits to bilingualism may seem intuitive now, but it would have surprised earlier experts. Before the 1960s, bilingualism was considered a handicap that slowed a child's development by forcing them to spend too much energy distinguishing between languages, a view based largely on flawed studies. And while a more recent study did show that reaction times and errors increase for some bilingual students in cross-language tests, it also showed that the effort and attention needed to switch between languages triggered more activity in, and potentially strengthened, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This is the part of the brain that plays a large role in executive function, problem solving, switching between tasks, and focusing while filtering out irrelevant information. So, while bilingualism may not necessarily make you smarter, it does make your brain more healthy, complex, and actively engaged. And even if you didn't have the good fortune of learning a second language as a child, it's never too late to do yourself a favor and make the linguistic leap from hello to hola, bonjour, or ni haos. Because when it comes to our brains, a little exercise can go a long way.
That's good. That's a good news, isn't it? We learned
Yeah.
something here. Yes. Hi, Chloe.
Hello.
Sorry, you were having something to drink. I picked the wrong time. Yeah. Well, we decided to watch this video earlier because we have had some talk in the first hour today. So free talk was mostly done. So we're talking about this bilingual brain thing. And we are all at least bilingual or trilingual or even multilingual. So what languages can you speak very, very fluently? We say even up to nearly native level. Chloe.
Chinese for me.
Yeah, Chinese Mandarin. And anything else?
I think second one is English, and then is Taiwanese.
So you see, you have two nearly native level languages. That's Chinese Mandarin and Taiwanese. Yeah, so our local dialect, 方言, and then English. So you have three languages. And so Sophie, you have two, and you're hoping to learn French or
Yes,
Spanish.
yes. And I'm self-taught Spanish.
So when are you going to start to really pick up, the language learning for other two languages?
Well, I basically download an app called Multilingual. So I actually learn a little bit Spanish every day, but not so well. But I really enjoy the process of finding the rule of language. And I think that is maybe the most fascinating of language for me. Like
It's quite
finding
fun,
the rule.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. So if we
Like
say out of
Spanish.
10, how much fun do you get from English when you use it?
Maybe 10 or it can be 11.
Oh, 10 plus.
Yeah. I really like to speak English with others. Like because I have a Malaysia friend, Carmen. And I think her second mother tongue is English. And it's always really have a pleasant talk with her in English. And also none of my roommates or doormates know what we are talking about, and it's so awesome.
You like to speak a foreign language. We say an alien language. So you're creating yourself a Martian language. Yeah.
Yeah.
火星话. Right. So, and we're all relatively at least bilingual, trilingual, or multilingual. Yeah, so I can speak fluent Chinese, Mandarin, Taiwanese, not very, very fluent, but at least fluent enough for conversation. Yeah, to survive, I have no problem. 就认得
Mhm.
In English, and a little bit of Japanese and Cantonese. So listening these two were much better than speaking part. But I just need time to pick up what I want to learn. So then hopefully I can be, not trilingual. So far I'm trilingual. Hopefully I can be multilingual soon. And those people who can be self-taught language learners, they can easily pick up new languages very fast. So, there is such a global conference, a lot of multilingual people in the meeting, in the conference, once a year, once a few years. They could develop over 10 or 20 languages. Well, I think that's a little too much for me. 5 would be really good. So 5, I have chosen my 5. Japanese and Cantonese. But I have lost the passion for Cantonese somehow for the recent thing. So I'm looking for something to replace it. So if I was to find something to replace it, yeah, maybe either Spanish or Italian. I don't prefer French. French is so difficult. You're using your throat a lot.
Yes.
I'm no good at that. What about you, Chloe? If you are to top up your language, set to 5, you have 3 now. English here, like Chinese, Mandarin, Taiwanese, and English. What 2 do you want?
Japanese.
Japanese and
I think
we can go there. A list for you to refer to. Afrikaans, Albanian, Amharic, Arabic, what is that? Armenian,
I
a lot.
French sounds good.
Oh, so you want to learn French? I could speak, well, I mean not French. I could speak a little bit Filipino. They call that Tagalog. Tagalog, it's 菲律宾土话.
Mhm.
And I can speak Happy New Year in Vietnamese. Vietnamese 越南话。
Mm.
南妹妹呀 That's their 新年快乐。You know, we learn different terms from different languages from different people, and I find it fun. Yeah, Sophie finds it fun too. Chloe, do you find it fun too?
Yes.
So, if you're to sing a happy birthday song to somebody, how many languages can you do?
3. Chinese, Taiwanese, and English.
Oh, and Sophie, do you have any more than that 3? Well, you
A
can do
little
Taiwanese, I
bit,
know.
a little bit Korean. Yeah.
Korean. So how do you can you demonstrate Korean birthday song?
Not really. I forgot already. But before I can speak in Korean.
So 祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，Happy birthday to you。誕生日はじめまして。That's 4. And do we have any more? There are more. And I can do 黄梅调 in Taiwanese. 祝你生日快乐。I actually did this for my good friend. I can share that with you. That was so funny. Her name is Maria, and hope she won't mind this. Yeah, so Maria's my son's good friend's mom. Yeah, so Thomas's mom and Maria. Oh, that's a hedgehog. Did you see that?
Yep.
A real hedgehog, 刺猬，小刺猬. But I think this is an adult. But the adult size is about this big. If it's a baby size, about this big. Yeah, and she found it probably in her garden. Yeah, the reason why I brought you here is because I recently sent her that song. Happy birthday. You wanna listen?
Yeah, definitely.
It's her birthday. Yeah, early this month. And because of the the travel restriction and pandemic situation, better keep distance. So I send this to her. That's about a minute. So clear your ears. Just to sing you a happy birthday song in many languages. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to dear Maria, happy birthday to you. 祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。That's Chinese. 祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐，祝你生日快乐。That's Taiwanese. And also Japanese. はじめまして、Maria. 誕生日、はじめまして、誕生日、はじめまして。Oh no, it's wrong way around. 誕生日はじまして、誕生日はじまして、Maria. All right, different languages, and there are still some more. And that's it for today. Happy birthday. We don't usually see each other. We live in 2 different cities, and so it's just once a year. And I prepared her a birthday gift. Still here, because I haven't got a chance to see her. It's a shame. I ordered it. I made a mistake. It's supposed to be in her house right now, because I ordered this on Amazon. 亚马逊.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have the gift wrapped option. So you don't have to wrap it yourself. You just tick it's a birthday gift. And then you write some messages. Then they print something out for you on the birthday card. And they wrap a birthday gift for you with the product you bought inside. And ship to their address straight away. You don't have to see them. They can receive it. But I made a mistake. I used my own address, so it was sent to me. Stupid. Anyway, so I told her I'm gonna see her soon, hopefully, and I'll bring this to her. But at least I sent her a song that showed my heart. So that's good. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to the video, and let me bring that back to hey, we have who's that?
Western.
Kristen, hi. You can play mahjong. We have 4 here now. you missed out on a wonderful singing. I just played a really good song for Chloe and Sophia. At a birthday song with different languages for my best friend Maria. Yeah, very good. Okay, so we have watched the video, so I'm not gonna play it again. So hope you guys are okay. I think we can pick some words from here. It's useful. Let's quickly read. Let's see. Oh, not long. Only 32. How about this? 10 each. Quickly read it through, and then let's pick some words, and then we get back there to use those words. All right.
Yeah.
Good. So according to your login sequence, 登入顺序. So the first reader will be Sophie, 1 to 10. And then we
Yeah.
have 32, right? Yeah, so 1 to
Yeah.
10, and then 11 to 20 for Chloe. And then Weston, you're the last one, so please take the longest part. 21 to 32. All right?
Okay.
Good. Thank you for your reply. Let's go. I want to content everything in one page. Just a second. Would that be too small for you, Sophie?
No, it's fine.
So it's all right, right? Okay,
Yeah.
good, cool. Right, so you can start anytime.
Hablas español, hablas voz francés. 你会说英文吗 If you answer C, or 会, and you're watching this in English, chances are you belong to the West bilingual and multilingual majority. And besides having an easier time traveling or watching movies without subtitles, knowing 2 or more languages means that your brain may actually look and work differently than those of your monolingual friends. So what does it really mean to know a language? Language ability is typically measured in 2 active parts, speaking and writing, and 2 passive parts, listening and reading. While the balanced bilingual has near equal abilities across the board in 2 languages, most bilinguals around the world know and use their languages in varying proportions. Portions. And depending on their situation and how they acquired each language, they can be classified into 3 general types. For example, let's talk about Gabriela, whose family immigrated to the US from Peru when she's 2 years old. As a compound bilingual, Gabriela develops 2 linguistic codes simultaneously. Simultaneously, with a single set of concepts, learning both English and Spanish as she begins to process the world around her.
Yeah, right. So let's bring, is that one page 1 to 10? You know what, because the video is there stopping me from bringing that up 1 to 10. Yes, there. Right, so again, those words translated into Chinese doesn't mean you don't know them, but just probably pronunciation wise, or the value of this word is quite good for us to keep, you know, for our next use. Right, so there are particularly the simplest word here, we need to focus on the pronunciation. This one, brain. That's AE sound, brain, not brain. Yeah, brain. This one's AE there, right? And other new words like multi or multi, they are the same, but just different continents, different pronunciations. Multi. I like multilingual. Multi, they both are okay. Yeah, majority, there. So most of the people or most of a big part of something. And mono means single. Like, you know, our radio, mono, stereo, 单身, yeah. Or like this word, proportions. So if you take S away, it's got two parts. So the first one, PRO, is the prefix. So pr and the syllable, 重音在第二个 P, portion, proportion. So if it's a portion, means it's a part, 一个部分. Proportion means the ratio. Yeah, like scale, right? So this is a good word to remember. So the proportion of the brain that you use, well, we can decide because it naturally happens, right? Okay, and this one is a tricky one that tripped both of us. So there are two different pronunciation, simultaneously or simultaneously. So there are two different pronunciations. So which one do you like, Sophie? British or American?
Maybe for now it's US, America, because it is more understandable. Like,
Yeah,
simultaneously.
Yeah, simultaneously. They mean the same, but just let's listen to those foreigners reading. You
Simultaneously.
see, when I say mo, but it says m here, right? So it depends. Some people say mo, sometimes some people say as mu, sometimes some people say m, and like this one.
Simultaneously.
Simultaneously, so this is more like m, right? So, but if you take ly away, where is it, that word? Oh, there. So it's only down to s. So that's an adjective. Yeah, simultaneous, simultaneously mean the same again. So pick the one you like. All right. So which one or which ones do you prefer to keep when we do our chat? For you, Sophie.
Simultaneously.
So that is the word that's most valuable to you, right? So let's make a mark, and then I'll give you, oops, there. Ding, there. Right, so where is it? There. Okay, so that is the most, okay. It's like Mexican English. Yeah, so this is the most valuable word to you for today. So let's make a screenshot, and then I'm gonna give it to you after the lesson. All right, so sometimes we do this, not all the time. Okay, so let's move on to Chloe. Your turn for 11 to 20. Just a second, I'm trying to pull the page up. 10, 11 to 20, perfect.
Her teenage brother, on the other hand, might be a coordinate bilingual, working with two sets of concepts, learning English in school while continuing to speak Spanish at home and with friends. Finally, Gabriella's parents are likely to be subordinate bilinguals who learn a secondary language by filtering it through their primary language. Because all types of bilingual people can become fully proficient in a language regardless of accent or pronunciation. The difference may not be apparent to a casual observer.
Well done.
But recent advances in brain imaging technology have given neurolinguistics
Neurolinguistics.
neuroling
Two parts, neural
neuro
and linguistics.
linguistics.
So linguistics means something to do with language. Yeah, so let's keep going.
A glimpse into how specific aspects of language learning affect the bilingual brain. It's well known that the brain's left hemisphere is more dominant and analytical in logical processes, while the right hemisphere is more active in emotional and social ones. Though this is a matter of degree, not an absolute split, the fact that language involves both types of functions while later
Lateralization.
lateralization develops gradually with age has led to the critical period hypothesis.
Assumption here. Hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
It's a P.
Hypothesis.
Yeah, hypothesis.
Hypothesis.
Good. And 19.
According to this theory, children learn languages more easily because the plasticity of their plasticity of their developing brains let them use both hemispheres in language acquisition, while in most adults, language is lateralized to one hemisphere, usually the left. If this is true, learning a language in childhood may give you a more holistic grasp of its social and emotional context.
Good, well done. This part is very, very long and difficult. A lot of words. Yeah, so don't push yourself too hard. You did really well. So we just need to quickly go through some of the words, especially those you can pronounce well. Like this, I think we have to go back. I give it a bigger one. Is that good? Clear? Right, so 11 here, coordinate.
Coordinate.
Yeah, and not concept. Yeah, so this one is a pronunciation thing. So your syllable 重音要往前，字越长，重音越前面。Yeah. Or like this one, subordinate. But because you separated sub and ordinate, so you have to put it together and faster. Subordinate. So the BOR together, but sub means under. Yeah, ordinate means together. Yeah, work together but under you. So that is one new word. And this proficient. Yeah, proficient. And so that is to master something. And this one is accent. Yeah, so when you have accent, your speaking would not be so easy to understand. And this one, pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
Yes. And this one, apparent.
apparent,
A lot of times foreigners like to say 很清楚很明显. They say apparently blah 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 blah. So this is from that word. Well, this word it forms that word. That is an adverb, right? And this one is a new one. Neural. You separate it. Neural and linguistics.
linguistics,
And put together neurolinguistics.
neurolinguistics,
Yeah, or we don't usually use that, so don't worry. Yeah, and glimpse.
glimpse,
Glimpse.
glimpse,
Yeah. So, and like to peep something or someone. Yeah, and this one is a syllable 重音问题. Specific.
specific,
Yeah, specific. This is a
specific,
very common word. Yeah, and then 半球 for your brain and also for the earth. 南半球, 北半球, the same word. This 这个半球. Hemisphere.
hemisphere,
Hemisphere.
hemisphere,
Yeah, so you can combine this word together with 气氛, atmosphere. 类似, right? Good. And this word, dominant.
dominant,
Yeah, so it's from the word, a verb, dominate.
dominate,
控制 and dominant 有控制权的主导的 right, so these are all common words. Yeah, and this one is adjective and analytical.
analytical,
Yeah, so when you see CAL 形容词, so analysis 分析名词, analyze 动词, right? So this one is adjective, analytical. And this one, though.
though,
Yeah, despite, okay, although they mean the same. Yeah, and this one, lateralization.
lateralization,
Lateralization.
lateralization,
Yeah, right. And this word is more popular than that word. This one is 假设. Hypothesis. Hypothesis.
hypothesis,
Hypothesis.
hypothesis,
Yeah. Well, your part nearly takes a whole lesson, you know. this is really, really long and difficult here. Yeah, and this one is from 塑胶 plastic. So this word, bring it longer, plasticity.
plasticity,
Plasticity.
plasticity,
Yeah, from plastic. So the k stops at C, but this one is CITY, so like city, right? City. Plasticity.
plasticity,
Yeah, 可塑性. This is a good word to remember. And this one is acquisition.
acquisition,
Acquisition.
acquisition,
Yes. And this one, holistic.
holistic,
Overall, holistic.
holistic,
Right. Phew. This is really rare. 很少见, right? One section with nearly the whole class. A lot, 20 to 30 new words. So, so if you're to pick three, can you pick three words you want to remember? So if you go back from 11 to 16 here, any words you want?
Coordinate,
Coordinate. Yeah.
apparent,
Apparent.
and specific,
Which one again?
specific,
Oh, specific.
specific,
Yeah, specific. And you see, when you emphasize that C, it feels more clear. So specific, that is a better stress sound. 那个重音比较清楚. So where is it? Specific.
line 15,
Oh, there, right in front of me. I'm blind, I can see it. Right, okay, and more, you can pick more, really. Your section is so long. 16 to 20.
a acquisition.
Very good. Acquisition. That's it.
I think that's it.
So that's all right. That's a lot, really. So this is a really long list. Right. So, and prepare yourself, Weston. It will be your turn in a second. I'm just gonna take a screenshot for Chloe, so then she can try to remember these words. Then your turn, Weston. So yours is longer one and hopefully not that many keywords from 21 to 32. There you go.
Okay. Conversely, recent research shows that people who learned a second language in adulthood exhibit less emotional bias and a more rational approach when confronting problems in the second language than in the native one. But regardless of when you acquire additional languages, being multilingual gives your brain some remarkable advantages. Some of these are even visible, such as higher density of the gray matter that contain most of your brain's neurons and synapses, and more activity in certain region when engaging in a second language.
I'll move it up. Okay, keep going.
The heightened workout a bilingual brain receives throughout its life can also help delay the onset of diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia by as much as 5 years. The idea of major cognitive.
Well, there are two ways, cognitive or cognitive.
Cognitive benefits to bilingualism may seem intuitive now, but it would have surprised earlier experts. Before the 1960s, bilingualism was considered a handicap that slowed a child's development by forcing them to spend too much energy distinguishing between languages, a field based largely on flawed studies. And while a more recent study did show that reaction times and errors increased for some bilingual students in cross-language tests. It also showed that the effort and attention needed to switch between languages triggered more activity in and potentially strengthened the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex.
Stay. Okay, keep going. 29 to 32.
Okay. This is the part of the brain that plays a large role in executive function, problem solving, switching between tasks, and focusing while filtering out irrelevant information. So while bilingualism may not necessarily make you smarter, it does make your brain more healthy, complex, and actively engaged. And even if you didn't have the good fortune of learning a second language as a child, It's never too late to do yourself a favor and make the linguistic leap on hello to hola, bonjour, or ni hao. Because when it comes to our brain, the exercise can go a long way.
Very good. Yes, a little exercise can go a long way, can take you a long way. Right. So ooh, another long one. Okay, so let's go back to 21 there. Yeah. So this word is related to exhibition, you know. So like when you look for a job or when you go for a travel exhibition, so that is to display, to show. Yeah, so this is exhibit is a verb, 动词. Yeah, and bias, emotional bias. Yeah. And then this, oh, this is a pronunciation thing. How do you pronounce this again, Weston?
Multilingual.
Right, so it could be multi or multi.
Say multi.
Yeah, for example.
Multilingual.
American accent.
Multilingual.
Multilingual. So these two are very similar, but multi is a very popular way we hear here too, but the same word again. Yeah, multi means plural, many, right?
Multilingual.
Yes. Do you consider yourself multilingual?
I say multilingual.
You can say multi, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself multilingual?
Multilingual. Yeah.
You think, okay, again, count how many? Cantonese as native.
English.
And English, yes. Chinese Mandarin. Any more?
3 o'clock.
Chinese, Cantonese, English, 普通话. Just this.
普通话, you don't have to, simulate how foreigners say 普通话. They can say 普通话, but we can't. So just like when we tell people, for example, like Taipei, we don't have to say, you will have to go to Taipei. You can say that because Taipei is officially an English word now. But a lot of places in Taiwan, they although they can be translated into English, but they don't quite know. You can go to Hualien, you can go to Taitung, you can go to Kaohsiung. It's like you're simulating a foreigner talking, but actually you're local. So you just say, you can go to Taitung. You're doing them a favor because you're telling them how to read, to properly pronounce it in the local dialect or the local pronunciation. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I went out of the way. So let's get back here. There are too many words here today, so let's quickly go through. So density. Yeah, and neuron. Neuro is adjective and neuron is noun, 神经元. So the only difference is the end, right? And synapses, that's plural. Those things that sticks out when we can see it, right? And here, these two are similar but different. So 老年痴呆, Alzheimer's. We usually say Alzheimer's disease, 阿兹海默症. So, but colloquial people always say 老人痴呆, not a nice name, honestly. You don't have to get old to get that. That's the thing. Yeah, well, we have a medical expert here. I don't quite know the biggest difference in between these two. For me, they're quite similar. Yeah, and this one is dementia. That's not a good one. Dementia. 有一个更好的翻译吧 dementia. My grandma had dementia. Do they have a better one? Do you have a medical term for this? I mean, in Chinese.
I'm going to search that.
Yeah, dementia. Dementia 有一个中文比较好，不是痴呆。Dementia. A lot of people get that. And let's check. Do you?
失忆症。
失
失智症，
忆是失忆吗？不是
失
吧？
智症。
哦，是
失
，yes，
智症
失智，yes，much
嗯
better，much better than 痴呆，right？痴呆 it sounds like you're teasing them, not nice. So, but sorry, I'll just keep it there. But you guys then know that's 阿兹海默症失忆症，much nicer name, right? And this word, did this word trouble you, Weston?
Cognitive.
Yeah, cognitive. There are two, cognitive or cognitive, but cognitive is more official. Cognitive, or like the noun is cognition. So Tion and Tive, and it's something to do with awareness. Yeah, cognitive, right? And this one is intuitive.
Intuitive.
Yeah, so like your 直觉, your instinct, or your intuition 名词. So it's the same when you take that IVE away, you put ION there, then you make them into noun, 变名词. So cognitive, cognition, intuitive, intuition, right? So these two are a set, 是一组的单字, right? And this one, you read it wrong, but I think you know this word, to force. This is forcing.
Forcing.
Yes, to push somebody doing something they don't want, right? Right, and this one, let's start at SH, distinguish.
Distinguish.
Yeah, distinguish. So to distinguish, to differentiate, these two are the same meaning. 区分区别. So distinguish or differentiate, right? So that's a good word too. And this is strengthen. Strengthen.
Strengthen.
Yeah, to enhance, to force. Well, yeah, see, force can be also 加强 too here. And this is a phrase. So phrasal, this is a phrasal noun, a medical term. Prefrontal cortex.
Prefrontal cortex.
So the 前 is this. 前额叶, AOL. Prefrontal cortex. Right. So this is something in our brain somewhere there, right? And I know not too much about it. So just know the name is good enough. Right. And this word, can you read this word again for me? Weston, I remember you read it wrong.
Executive.
The stress the syllable has to go front.
Executive.
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 Yeah, executive. So when it's a verb, 去执行, execute, execution, 动词名词.
And
So they're
exec.
all set. Yeah, executive. 这个就要变化一下. You need to change the sound. Executive. This is quite popular, this word. All right. Sometimes it doesn't just mean that really. It means higher level. You mean the decision level manager. I mean, right. Okay. And this one, complex.
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 Yeah. And the last one, this one, a leap.
Leap.
Like a jump, but it's further, higher than is a leap. So usually when we say we're making progress, it doesn't matter if you're doing exercise or you're working. You say it's a huge leap, means a big progress, a good enhancement. Yeah. All right. Good. So I know we I don't want to say we wasted, but we spent a lot of time today on this one because there are more than 50 words, I believe, today. That's a super long list to build. So I didn't want to use this because that's gonna make it too long. So I decided to bring you to the transcript. And so the last part, Weston, your turn. You have loads of words here too. Do you want to pick a few you want to memorize? I want to give you green. So from 20, any words you want to keep? exhibit, bias, multilingual, density, neurons, synapses,
Bias seems
bias, there, emotional
seems
bias.
is short that easy to memorize.
You're lazy. Any more?
Uh,
Cognitive,
yeah, cognitive,
yeah. Alzheimer's, dementia. No, okay.
intuitive,
Intuitive, and then last part 26 to 31. No, it should be distinguish, or where is that? Strengthen, executive,
complex.
complex, leap. So good. So you have also chosen some, and I don't want to just cut it off here, because I like conversation. I feel it's boring if we keep working on vocabularies only. But guys, you have chosen some words. So tell me what you have learned here today from this video. Sophie, what did you learn from this video?
I learned that our hemisphere and our head, our brain hemisphere can learn balancely when we learn bilingual, like
Learn to be bilingual.
yeah.
Good. So you learn, that your hemispheres, left and the right, they can vary. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And Chloe, what did you learn from the video today?
I think many new words.
Too many. Yeah, and concept-wise, not vocabulary-wise, but concept-wise, did you learn anything new? Too focusing on vocabularies. So
Yeah.
don't get that's fine. Then that is what you picked up today. You picked up a lot of words from, a useful talk, and that could bring you more words to use for the future, and that's nice too. What about you, Weston? Any concept you learned today?
It may be slower than the people that learn the second language from my child, but you can still do an exercise that make your brain become healthier.
Exactly. So no matter how old you get, it's not too late to learn a new language. So this is really my retirement dream. Really, I want to do 3 things when I totally retired, when I don't have to work. First thing, I want to buy a double-decker bus. 双层巴士. I want to renovate it into a mobile home. I want to make my bedroom, my shower, my living room, all into that double-decker. And my husband can drive it, and I'll be lying in bed while traveling from this city to that city. So that's one thing. So we don't have to live in a house. We're going to live in a double-decker bus. And second, I want to keep learning, especially languages. And third, I want to have my own DIY woodwork shed. 木工小一个 shed 怎么讲呢？这个小不是仓库哦。People, they like DIY woodwork. They have a lot of tools, electrical drills, or a lot of tools. And I want to have one, and I want to have a shed. Shed 我不会翻呢。Shed. It's something like what you get in if you have a garden. And DIY woodwork. Like that, yeah. Yeah, just like that. I want to have my own. It doesn't have to be that big, but even that small, that's fine. When you open it, all the tools are inside. You can do some work in it. I want to have one. I really want to have one. Well, that is great. I mean, if I could have a land for a big shed, like that. So that's a new word for you, a shed. 小木屋吧，要这样叫吗？工具屋，木工屋，棚 is not 棚。A shed is like this. Usually it's wooden. 所以棚在台湾好像是塑胶吧。So anyway, so that's my dream. I got 3 I want to accomplish. So that's a good thing. And finally, I want to, highlight this. I really think it makes sense here. So it says, even there. So while bilingualism may not necessarily make you smarter, I feel it does. But it does make your brain more healthy, complex, and actively engaged. It means it's actively working when you're bilingual or trilingual or multilingual. I feel that is a benefit. It's great. So keep coming to the lessons and make sure you're better than just nano, but bilingual at least. Yeah, good. Okay, any questions you guys want to ask?
No.
No, you're having headache. Too many words today. 40, 50. Yeah, don't worry. You don't have to remember them all. Pick those you just memorize those you have picked. Use them. Don't make a whole long list without using it. That's a waste. Just use one of the words, 2 of the words. Use it and they will be yours. All right? Good. So it's a good day and it's your 10 o'clock. I'll let you guys go take a shower at bedtime. You guys are all young. Have a good dream tonight and I'll see you tomorrow. All right? Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.